average guy. Calculating, methodical, intentional.
What is up, everybody? Welcome in to a very, very special edition of the Alex Michael live sessions. It is great to see everyone. A lot of early birds today. I like it. I don't know what could have possibly brought you guys out, but it is awesome to see everybody. Another Sunday. What is going on? David Saldana, Sarah Aldrich, Romancer X, Doreen Orr, Jesse Lundberg. Good evening. Man, I know you're an artist, and this is definitely one for the artists. Absolutely honored. You guys have probably seen the thumbnail. You know what's going on. We are going to be joined by Stuart Sayger here in a few minutes. I'm like giddy. I'm a little bit giddy. You're going to see the company man fanboy out a little bit here. That doesn't usually happen. We usually like to be a little more calculating, but I've been adding names to the wheel. Fergie Ferg Comics and Unboxings. I got you. Kevin Bixby, Warlord, JP Power, Nicole Vale, Yanko, Anthony Just Blaze, K Cameron, Bill Now, Jose Goes Pop Hunting. Welcome in. You are on the giveaway wheels. Alexander Watson, Nathan Fitch, Mr. Awesome. You are on the giveaway wheels as well. Welcome in, everybody. Stuart Downs, how are you? Thank you, Warlord, sir. I see him spamming the emotes. What is going on, Mike Panucci? Look at you guys lighting it up now.
Thanks you.
Thank you, Nicholas Garrison, for the $2 super chat. He's buying the coffee and donuts today. Jason Mills, what is going on? I got to put Panucci in there. There we go. Got you on there, Jason Mills. Underground Thundercat, Hey Danger, Don Davis, you are all on the giveaway wheel. Mike Polo, Scotty Brown, welcome in. Good to see members of the boardroom as well. Yeah, this is a good one, guys. This is going to be a really good one. Not going to do the kind of the standard thing. Bob World, I got you. We're going to kind of bypass opening boxes and spend some time with Stuart Sayger. He has got some stuff to show us that I'm like, it's pretty crazy. What's up, B Scythe, Convex Mike? Good to see some new names in here. Welcome in, guys. Glad you're here. Funko Poppin', Derek Kronk, Wolf Blitz, Kevin, Ian Atono. It is good to see you as well, my friend. Thank you so much. Justin Martin, welcome in. Comic Book Poser, how are you, man? Been nice talking to you in the comments of some videos. Thank you so much. Arthur Penlone, welcome in. You are on the giveaway wheel. Got 115 in here already. Great to see everybody. Ride Everyday Photos. IB Poppin' in California. Let's see. Amanda Sparkle, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming in. Good to see you as well. Coco loves Chevy. How are you doing? Great to see you guys. Man, we got a big crowd in here. That's good to see. It's good to see. I tell you, I love Sundays. I love hanging out. Thank you so much, Kaya B, for the $5 super chat. Great to see you, Alex. Keep bringing the heat. Thank you for the support. Jay Mortify, what is going on? Good to see another new name. Let's see. I got James Willie. You are on the giveaway wheel. You guys know the drill. Make sure you are here to claim the prizes at the end of the show, and then we will ship them out. All you got to do is send me your information, and I will ship them out directly to you. North are up. You are on the giveaway wheel. Umpty Scratch, you are on the giveaway wheel as well. Let's see. How many? Man, we're getting close to the same amount of entries. This is good news. This is good. You got the same round. Kooky Kentucky Boy, Lauren Nickel, welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see everybody. CFAP, what is going on?
The company thanks
Lauren Nickel
for your
Thank you, Jamie Johnson. Nights Bright. Told you I'd be here. Well, man, it is great to see you. Thank you for being here, making the time. Super Burger Lord, welcome into the boardroom, sir. LBD Prophecy, you are also on the giveaway wheel. We're going nuts here. Let me see if I can spell. Man, I got John Smith, Poppin' Son, Robert, James Lilly, Planet Toad, I got you. I got you, Super Burger Lord. You're on there, buddy. That's all you got to do is type in the chat. What is up, Jeremy Chouinard? You are on the giveaway wheel as well. Let's see, Iconic Odd. What is up, Bixby? Good to see you. Kirby Polkiner, I see another name in there I haven't added. You're on the giveaway wheel. Let's see. Andrew Kai, good morning. I don't know where you are. That is another good point. I'm glad you brought that up, Andrew. Emilio Avicito, you are on the giveaway wheel. I don't care where you live. I will ship it to you. Comic books are international. You know, it's an international hobby, so I'm not going to restrict you. If you win something, we'll get it to you. No problem. Shaheen, Matthew Fox, welcome in. Good to see you guys as well. I'm going to get you on the giveaway wheel as well. Matthew Fox. I think I got Jason Woods on there. Adrian Pand, awesome. Welcome, welcome. You're on the giveaway wheel. Good to see you, man. We got Deep Dive Comics on the giveaway wheel as well. And let me make sure I'm caught up. Got Paul Hurst, Joey Bags. Good luck to everyone, he says. Queen Amusements. What is going on? Clark Kent Cookies. What is going on? I like that. Is that are you a real cookie company, Clark Kent Cookies? I see you around. I got to ask. Are you making Superman cookies? I like the idea. Captain, my captain, what is going on? Thank you so much for coming in. Let's see. CLRG Comics. I see you in there as well. You are on the giveaway wheel. I got Pickerel. I got Gomez. What is up, broski? Good to see you. I always just put broski in there because I know who you are. I got you, King Rex, from earlier. Thank you for being in early. 2B in Phoenix. What is up? You are on the giveaway wheel. We got one in California, one in Phoenix. Wiz and War Comics. How are you, man? I hope that you're doing well. Selling through those mystery boxes. Flash by Night. You are on the giveaway wheel. We'll give a couple more minutes for some people to come in here, and then we will pull our guest in. Stuart Sayger, man, absolutely amazing. I got to tell you, too, I mean, for one, I'm a big fan of what he does. I mean, you know, you guys know me. I'm pretty new to the comic books, you know, in most terms and in a sense, but Stuart Sayger was one of the first artists that I gravitated towards. Man, I tell you, the sketch remarks are just nasty. And we're giving away 2 of those later this evening. And I can't wait to see what he has. You saw on the thumbnail, he's going to show off some covers, some original art. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this ticker up right now. This is to his website, www.stuartsayger.com. Guys, I'm going to tell you, this is a
company thanks you
kind of
for your contribution.
What do we got? Another super chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to link this in the chat as well, guys. That is his website. You can buy things there. Thank you, Deadpool Comics, for the $2 super chat. You guys can actually pick things up there. And a lot of you ask me, you know, where do you get the slabs? Where can you? I'm going to tell you, go to his website right now. There are some slabs on there that I think are way too cheap. Signed 9/8 signature series. Go to that website, pick some of these up. You guys want to get the sketch remarks that people look for all the time? Go to this website. I'm telling you, just like the ones I'm giving away tonight, you can get these. And they're all very unique, kind of original, a little different. I'm telling you, these are really, really cool to see. Go over there, give him some support, man, because he's putting together some incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible. I got you on the giveaway wheel. Michael David, NC Slapjacks, what is going on? You're on there. Johnny G, how are you? You're on the giveaway wheel as well. And I think, let me make sure, I'm going to scroll up, make sure we kind of got everybody on there. I got Choo Choo Comics. IJ, how's it going? Carlos Bola, you're on the giveaway wheel as well. I knew I missed a couple of names. And Philip M, good to see you, Jellyfingers Comics. Thank you so much for the support, Jellyfingers. What is up? Yo, Jay Collects. How are you doing, man? Good to see you. So here we go. It is 5:10. What is up, Geeky Mama Bear? I'm going to tell you, I got to pull him in here at some point, guys. You keep checking in here. Kelly Jones, what is up? Gustavo Medina, how are you, man? You are on the giveaway wheel as well, my friend. Thank you so much for taking the time. A lot of different time zones represented. What is going on? Wild Comics. Great to see everybody in here. But enough of me jawing on, you know, like I do. Enough delay. Let's bring in the immensely talented cover artist, comic book artist, has written his own comic book. I mean, he's done a lot of different things, and he's got some absolute fire to show us. I got you, Richard Doherty. You're on there. He, I can't say enough about him, man. Super responsive. I mean, I got to tell you, that was crazy to not know somebody, and he's like, hey, are you going to talk comics? I'm in. I think that's absolutely tremendous. Speaks a lot, man, to his character. But enough of me gushing on and on. I got you, Big O. Let's bring in the esteemed, the incredibly talented Stuart Sayger. Welcome in, man.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. How are you, Alex?
Oh, I am good, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. We are very grateful.
Happy to be here.
Yeah,
we got a lot to cover, don't we?
Yeah, man. We do. It's awesome talking to you backstage, and just all the stuff you've worked on and you are working on. Oh my gosh.
It's been a lot. It's been busy. Every year is different. It's kind of weird. You never know what projects are going to roll around. One often feeds the next one. But I've been busy, but we didn't expect the pandemic to happen. I know a lot of people have sort of been wondering when the next big one's going to happen. Next big convention, we had C2E2 in February, and we're looking for the internet to fill that void.
Yeah, I think so far, it's been pretty great, being able to connect. Like you spoke about it. You said it perfectly, what it's done for comics. I mean, when we were backstage, we talked a little bit about it. You're dead on with that.
Comic book people embrace the internet pretty early, and so we sort of had a leg up on a lot of other hobbies. That's for sure. But the internet's also really good at delivering, words and pictures, which is what we are. So
yeah, that's a great point. A great point. So I know you've got the two new covers. I think they're absolutely fire. They're connecting too.
Yeah, you're talking about the Transformers. Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't know they're actually not only connecting, but they're wraparound.
Oh man, I'm gonna make you a little bit bigger here because
I'm hoping you can see that. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Now you're on the. Oh man.
And one of the fun things about this was, and I crossed my fingers I could get away with this. If you look closely, it's actually Prime is holding Megatron in gun form. I've got a little bit more glare than I'd like there, but
I didn't notice that before when.
Yeah, so the connecting cover is Soundwave holding Shockwave in gun form. So I did the math perfectly, so they connect to make one image. I'm pretty proud of them. They came out looking pretty good.
And so those are an exclusive to a store, is that correct? Or
so I made those in conjunction with Bell Book and Comic, which is a comic shop in Dayton, Ohio. We've done a couple exclusives before. They actually, Peter Bell, who owns that shop, has been great to me for years. He's got a wonderful shop. He invited me out to be a guest at Free Comic Book Day several years ago, and we just hit it off pretty well, and he's so knowledgeable and really in tune with his fans that I think the first exclusive we did, we were talking about maybe doing one. He wanted one, an exclusive, and he said, let me know if you hear the right project. We sort of agreed we would talk to one another, and I came back, I think, from San Diego with the secret news that IDW was going to do ROM and Micronauts, and he was an 80s toy fan, right?
Oh, man.
And we were trying to decide which one to do, and I wanted Micronauts more than ROM. He wanted ROM more than Micronauts, and neither one of us wanted to budge, so we did them both.
Yeah.
And they both did well, and so as a result, we've since done G.I. Joe and now Transformers. But I've done exclusives for other companies and conventions, and it just so happens that, much like Micronauts and ROM, when Transformers showed up, he called me up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. And I was, you look through your website too, man. Those some of these, you got the G.I. Joe, the Deja Thorns, guys, and just so you know, like I said, on his website, you go to the shop, you go down to the graded comics, and there are just some deals on there.
Yeah, I hope you don't run me out on all of them. I've got a decent number of some of those. I went through the cases and I tried to pick out some nice ones, but I want those who want them to be able to get them. Just like that.
Because you've had The Walking Dead, you got a nice resume of just a lot of different variations of books. And stories.
And that's the funny thing about this industry, because I've had some really pretty nice, interesting jobs, and they've all been really sort of varied. I did get to do the Walking Dead variant for Wizard World.
Yep.
I did, let's see, I'm trying to remember what they all are. I've done the Joker, did the Deja Thor's, I've done 3 G.I. Joe. I've done what other variants? I'm trying to remember. The Deja Thor's, Xena, Warrior Princess. I think there's something else. But, I've also had some jobs that some people aren't as aware about. So I'll bet you didn't know this. I actually worked on the Superman Man of Steel movie.
I didn't. What?
That's right. So when that movie came out, if you were needing to pick something up from Target or Walmart or something like that, if you walked down the t-shirt aisle, you probably saw my Superman artwork. I remember it was back to school day, and I should have taken a photo of it, but I remember seeing the big display for back to school, and there was Superman backpacks with my art and folders and rulers, and you just pick something. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I bought the items. I just should have gotten a photo of the display,
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, so how do you get into that? Like, how does that phone call work? Like, how does somebody call and say, "Hey, we need you to," or do they just kind of pick from a catalog?
No, I'll tell you, it's a funny story, and it really tells you how sort of small and insulated the world is in comics. So one thing that I'm always impressed by, and that is all the editors I've worked with who are good editors, they've got this Rolodex of artists in their head that is boundless. They're constantly looking to see who's making what, who's available. You know, a guy can get sick, miss a deadline, or a writer or artist could leave a book for another book, and then you got to fill that hole. And so I remember my first job for a major publisher was to do some Green Lantern trading cards for DC Comics and Upper Deck. They did a game called Versus.
Nice. Okay.
Kind of like Magic the Gathering, but you can play Spider-Man and Superman. And I met an art director whom I didn't know was an art director at the time. I was just set up at the San Diego Comic-Con, but he liked my work, and he finally laid his cards down and he said, "I like your stuff. Do you want to do some Green Lantern cards for me?" Well, I did those and I turned them in. And while I was waiting to get notes back on them, someone else at DC contacted me and said, "Hey, I saw these Green Lantern trading cards you're doing. I'm doing Superman. Do you want to do some Superman cards for me?" And I initially I said Superman was Batman. I don't know how I would ever screw that up, but the second set was Batman cards. And I thought, this is awesome. Right out of the gate, I've got two good contacts at DC. And immediately after I finished the Batman cards, that art director changed jobs and went over to Warner Brothers. And I didn't hear a thing from him for a long time. But because, as I said, these art directors, they remember everybody. They needed a dark, gritty, expressive, atmospheric artist for Man of Steel. And he remembered me. And he just reached out to me and he said, "I know you can do it. You did it on Batman." And you know, the funny thing is my phone didn't recognize the phone number and I almost didn't answer. But it was New York and I thought, let's try it. So,
I never know. That could have
glad
been
I did.
That's good to know. Yeah, guys, I'm still adding you to the giveaway wheel. If you're typing, I'm putting you in. We won't close it till about 5:30. Man, that is so crazy that's how that worked. And then, I mean, I guess since then, I mean, has it always kind of been that way? Now you're kind of established enough to where you'll get those calls when, you know, people feel like you'll feel that need, or are you still kind of on the hunt?
It can be. Listen, everybody is absolutely on the hunt. I mean, I guess probably Alex Ross is not. Jim Lee is probably sewn up right now. I think he's going to work on whatever he wants to. But for the most part, the funny thing is the pieces are always moving. You know, I talked about this editor who hired me on the Man of Steel. He used to be at DC. An editor whom I've worked for at multiple companies was Bob Schreck, who's worked for Oni. He's worked for DC. He's worked for Legendary. He'd worked for IDW. And so you kind of, it is an industry of people and everybody knows one another to some extent. And like I said, these people have this idea of who it is they need or what sort of art style they want. I am better known for doing kind of atmospheric, moody sort of stuff. I remember I was offered one time, I was speaking of Bob Schreck, he called me and he offered me 2 books. He said I could have my choice. One was a Dracula book and one was sort of a sort of lighter, more magical book about children. And he said, you know, you can have either one you want. And I said, well, I think I got to take Dracula. And he said, well, with your art style, I think it's the right choice. But, you know, but at the same time, he had enough faith in me that he wanted to give me the opportunity that if I wanted to try something different or, you know, spread my wings and do something that was a little bit outside my comfort zone, he was going to give me that room. That was very flattering, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Man, that's awesome. I mean, that's so cool. Cause like, you know, a lot of like on the outside looking in, we, you know, it's a lot of people, all of us, you know, fans think we don't know how it comes together. You know, it's nice to kind of see that come behind the curtain a little bit.
Some of it is, I always say that it's a hard industry to get into. If anybody's interested in working in this industry, you know, there are so many things that have to happen. And one of them, unfortunately, I think really is you have to be lucky. Now,
Yep.
luck alone is not going to do it. You've got to do the work. It helps if you can meet these editors in person. Because I will tell you what, an editor, they've got a lot of things that they're looking for. They want art that's good, but they also want it on time. They want to know that they have a personality connection, that they can communicate well with you.
Sure.
Some artists can be very particular about their work, and they don't want anything altered, which can be really difficult if you're working on a project like Transformers, where I might have an editor, but Hasbro is also going to be involved. The editor at IDW may have been fine with my work, but maybe Hasbro isn't.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's a good idea if you can meet these people and impress upon them what kind of personality you have and what sort of work ethic you have as well. The first job is always the hardest to get.
Sure.
And the second is the second hardest. And that's just how it is. But, the other thing about it is, though, the fans are really important. I will tell you this. I self-published a comic book called Shiver in the Dark, which is how I broke into this industry. I had been making sample pages, and I thought, why don't I just publish my own? And the thing did pretty well. And of all things, this is the truth. There was Wizard Magazine, when it was coming out, called it, they had sort of a 3 or 4 page story on independent comics. And one of the categories they discussed was the best comic you'd never heard of, and which is what they called my comic, because it was self-published and I did it myself. And it was one of these things where I called the writer and I said, tell me how you found out about my book. I want to know. Yeah. I had published it myself and I'd gone to conventions. And he said, honestly, I was on Brian Michael Bendis boards way back when. And he said, I just asked a question, what's the best, small press independent book? And he said, one of your fans said he loved it and sent me a copy.
Wow. Look at that.
Right. And I said, do you know who it is? And he told me, and I found that guy at a convention and I said, you got yourself a free drawing, sir. And he earned it.
That's great, man. Awesome.
And he did. He absolutely did.
That's crazy how that just reciprocates too. I see some people asking. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat for sure. I mean, we would absolutely love to, open this up and let you all ask away. I mean,
by the way, this is the San Pellegrino water. I'm not drinking wine on camera, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. If you are, no worries. You're all good. No, so I mean, do you want to? You showed me that drawing for Optimus, and I'm sure you've got a heck of a
Oh, sure. I've got all kinds of things I've been sitting on here. So if you guys have looked at the Optimus Prime, so it should come as no surprise to anybody that these days a lot of comic books are colored in Photoshop, which I did. But in this case, I've been drawing rather large these days for a while. And one of the reasons is, let's see how dirty my hands are. I often will put my fingers right in the ink and I'll move it around to create some texture. And so this is one of the things I love to show off. Here is the original front cover to the Transformers
oh my gosh,
cover A. There we go. And it's pretty big. It's about 20 inches tall. But as you can see, if you look down at his knee here, let's see how close I can get in. I don't necessarily use hard black lines all the time. I like there to be some grays in there, and it allows me to get some different detail in the coloring. Let's see. That's pretty good.
And that one stays with you, right? We can't get our hands on that.
You better have very strong grip, because I'm holding on pretty tightly. But I've held on to most of my published covers, and largely it's because I like to be able to show them off. I like to be able to tell people about them. And from time to time, I might do an art show or something like that where I can present them. And
that makes total sense. I mean,
But I draw all the time. There's lots more being made.
So we got a couple questions for you. So Matthew Fox actually asked a good question. Is there a character that you haven't done that you just would really love to do? Like I would love the opportunity to do a Flash Gordon, but the problem is I'd really like to write it too. And I would really like it to be really decorative. I'm an Alex Raymond fan. I really like the first 1934 issue or year of Flash Gordon. That would be fun. But I also really like the 1979 Filmation cartoon. So I would draw that Princess Aura. Let's see. But, the list is kind of long and boundless. I remember I used to play this game. I worked in a comic shop when I was growing up.
in high school, and there was a gentleman there who was very interested in writing comics as well. If you work in a comic shop, you read enough comics. So many of the people here are tuning in have had a story idea, or they draw. I've got a guitar. I'm not very good at it. I don't have to be good at it to want to do it. And I feel that a lot of people who read comics would like to write and draw them. So way back when, there was this conversation of, what would be the book you'd like to work on? What would be fun? And I remembered it was such an open-ended question. I grew up a Batman fan, but I kind of felt like it might be more fun to do something that I wasn't as familiar with, that I might have something completely different and fresh to say. I think sometimes if you can come to it without knowing too much about it, that you can look at it in a new life. And I thought at the time a really cool series to do would be Doctor Doom series, not Fantastic Four. And they might even be the same stories, but let's say a really cool series would be the first appearance of Fantastic Four of Doctor Doom is Fantastic Four #5. How cool would it be to do a Doctor Doom series that was the same story, but it was all from Doctor Doom's perspective? Because, he's the king of Latveria. His people love him. He's not a villain over there.
Right.
You could really kind of have this sympathetic Doctor Doom doing some really awful things.
Yeah.
I think that could be fun. I'd like to do that.
I would love to see your take on Doctor Doom too.
Oh, he's so much fun to draw.
Oh man, yeah.
I can't believe I don't have one here. I might.
Because that'd be so. If they hit you with that, you're like, sign me up. I'll write, draw it, and everything.
Actually, here's a Doctor Doom I did recently. Let's see if I can
let me get that on a big layout. Yeah, that's oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty sick. So, and that's your art book, correct?
Yeah, that's the new art book.
That's the new art book. Yeah, I saw you had that.
2 of these. So if you like to see a whole bunch of my art, I have these available.
Are those on the website too?
I think I just got them up there. Yeah, they're oversized. As you see it next to a comic book, it's bigger.
Yeah.
Square bound too. And they're full color throughout. And the material in here. Really, these are pieces that don't normally appear elsewhere. Mm-hmm. They're a lot of them were private commissions, but they were pieces that, were maybe an unused cover, perhaps. This was a piece that was at one time going to be a Deja Thor's cover. I abandoned it and reworked it. This is one I made up fresh for it, the cover of this. But there's a lot in here. So for the people who are kind of completists and want to see it all, I told you I like Doom.
Yeah, that's great. Oh my gosh.
But this is a book that, I really produced in pretty small numbers for the diehards who like them. They're available. But, the list of things I'd want to work on, long. I mean, there are more ideas than there are hours in a day. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes total sense. I mean, geez, I'm sure there's so many good characters now.
I've got a good idea. I've got a couple good ideas for Batman stories. I think that the character, is ripe to be put in a place of weakness.
Sure.
Batman's been so tough and so strong and always in kind of command. It would be kind of nice to see it where he is sort of out of his realm or outgunned or outmaneuvered.
Yeah.
I've got a few ideas, but I'd like to write comics too. I don't get asked to do it nearly as often, mainly because I'm better known as an artist. And, when the right art job comes along, okay, well, you do that.
Yeah,
that sounds great. I'll draw that.
Did you see the trailer for the new Batman?
Which
fandom with Robert Pattinson?
They have been teasing it. I haven't seen that yet. Somebody else told me got Static Shock on them too.
Yeah. I mean, I think it maybe calmed some people. I think there was some like, oh no, Robert Pattinson, Twilight. But I remember when everybody said there's no way that Michael Keaton could do it, and we got 2 movies that people loved. And you know what? I remember reading when that was first announced, they hadn't cast him. Do you know a guy that they were kicking around for the part was Ray Liotta? Wow.
Can you imagine that?
No.
Yeah.
There's no.
He was younger. It's about the time, I think Goodfellas is 89. So it's the same time they come out the same year.
Yeah, I couldn't see that. That would be tough. But I mean, it was like the Heath Ledger and the Joker. I mean,
right.
You could never see that, and then it happened. You're like, oh my gosh, this. He just transcended it. It was crazy.
You just got to have a vision. I mean, that's it. If you have a vision and everybody buys in on it. And I'll say this as well. I don't. We have so much good Batman stuff out there. I think that rolling the dice a little bit is a good idea.
Oh yeah, I agree
You
with you.
I a good rule of thumb for me in sort of drawing or making art or good comics is kind of this. I say this several times. I think it is better if half the people love you and half the people hate you than have everybody say that guy's pretty good. You really want to strike a chord.
Right.
I kind of feel like something that's a little bit dangerous. Some people may hate it, but the ones who love it will really get a lot more out of it.
That makes a lot of sense too, because when you have that controversy, conflict is always a good thing. We say it in the business world all the time. If it's conflict and it's manageable, it always creates better everything, really. So,
well, we've had some dangerous things that came out. I think when Dark Knight Returns was first being kicked around, it was pretty odd and dangerous. No one knew if it was going to work. DC could have done Watchmen, and Watchmen looked like it was going to be the Blue Beetle and Captain Atom, and at the last minute they changed the characters, and it still came out very, very great. But I think it speaks to the fact that DC had to be able to roll the dice and say it's going to be a weird book. Not all of them hit.
Right.
You can't hit those home runs unless you're willing to swing that hard.
Yeah, that's a great point too. I mean, man, that kind of it leads into a good question. So somebody was actually asking about your Kevin Bixby, actually, the guy I was talking to you about backstage that, I think attended your comic book day thing. The comic book in a day. He said, what's that creative process like? Like when they said, hey, will you do a Transformers cover? However that works. Like, how do you even start with that? Like, what do you?
So I'm going to give away some of my secrets here, and I'm probably not supposed to give this answer. Okay. So there are two things I always do. I always try to connect with it, find if it's something that I'm not familiar with, try to find a way to be interested in it, read it, what appeals to me, what stands out to me. And then at the same time, I always think it's a pretty good idea if there's somebody you trust, who is a fan of the thing ahead of you, ask particularly if they have taste that's different than yours. Talk to them, find out what they like about it, what they don't like about it. I'm a Transformers fan, except when I meet real Transformers fans. Like I grew up with the Transformers, and I find out it's like, yeah, you think you know a lot about it? No, there are guys who know a whole lot more about it. Right. And so I feel like you do those two things. I have sort of an initial reaction to it. What would I think would be cool? In the case of Transformers, it was easy because I played with these toys for a long time. Mm-hmm. I grew up with them when I was little, and I thought, okay, so what's the thing I wanted to see that I never got to see? I've seen Starscream holding Megatron half a dozen times, but it would be so jarring to have the hero Optimus Prime. If there was anybody who seemed like he wouldn't use a gun, it would be Optimus Prime, right?
Good point.
He's such a leader who leads by example. Right. And so I thought, if I can have him hold that gun, particularly in this kind of, ready to use it, sort of, staring down Shockwave. It's like that's a sight we haven't seen with him before. So I always think, find something you think is interesting, find something you can say about it that you haven't seen or that someone hasn't said before. And when in doubt, ask somebody who's got different tastes than you. There are characters that I connect with better than others. And sometimes it's good to be honest with yourself. Like I can remember, when you're young, really young, and you don't like modern art.
Yeah, right.
You want everything to be literal. One of the great things to do is to say, okay, everybody else says this is great. Let me find out why. If you can open your mind up to what other people are getting out of it and sort of see it through their eyes, you've got a lot more options in what you can say and do. I think that's the best way. And then sometimes if it's something like a toy, you just look at it and play with it a little bit. I remember Bob Peak, he's the commercial illustrator who painted the movie poster for Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
He watched the movie. I guess he must have seen a rough cut or something. I'm not exactly sure, but he said, I had a really hard time following it. But the visualizations of Marlon Brando's head in that dripping water, said that was so strong. He said,
that's a good point.
That's what I'm going to make my movie poster on. That is the image of the movie. That is powerful. That's like, it spoke to him. And so he had something that he could build the rest of it around. And today it's an absolute classic poster.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah. It's definitely like held up, it stood the test of time. And
absolutely.
That's awesome. So I've got two questions from Snitchels. His name is. So first thing he asks what medium do you use when you draw? I'm not familiar with that term, but you probably are.
I am, and I'll use all of them. So
Oh,
that is the worst answer to your question. I really like to work in black and white. Typically on a lot of the pieces, like the Transformers covers, they'll begin as a black and white sketch, pretty light. I don't have really tight sketches. I want to go in and solve a lot of the problems with the inks. They're more spontaneous that way. But here, I'll show you a piece here that's pretty interesting. This is, if you guys know Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
This is a nice little plug I'm going to give you guys here. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time on my Facebook page, I have a live show, and I always end with doing a live drawing. And so a couple of weeks ago, I drew this, which is Sean Young, the replicant who doesn't know that she's a replicant. And this was drawn with ink. There's a little bit of, I think, chalk pastel or gouache on it for the white. And this is pretty typical for how I'll make this. But why I wanted to show you this is I also scanned it in the computer and I did some coloring work on it. And I think you should see what it looks like after. There we go. There it is after I did some color work on it. Can I eliminate the glare? But what's interesting too is because she's a robot, you can see I added the circuitry to her head. And I really wanted her to have that sort of ghosty look in her eyes. And so, you know, this is typical how I could do something, but at the same time, here, I'll show you another one. This is fun. This is another one I did during my live feed. If you tune in on Thursday, you get to see me make these things live.
Yeah.
This was an alien I painted.
Jeez.
See if we can zoom in on that. There we go.
Oh man.
And now this doesn't have a lot of digital work on it, but I do like to scan them in and do a little bit just so you can see. I'm showing this just because I can adjust the saturation and the colors just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But I always tell everybody, if you're interested in doing this stuff, you know, one of the things that frustrated me when I was little is there's the book How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, which is a great book.
Right.
But it's very easy to look at that book and it will tell you, get this pencil, get a number 3 brush, get an inkwell, have this eraser. And then there's this easy idea, if you're young, to have this sense that these are the, 7 or 8 items that are the alchemy of making comics, right?
Right.
But in reality, if it makes a mark you like and you can photograph it, you can use it to make comics. A real eye opener for me was I was reading an interview with Joe Kubert, and he was the war artist of comics of the 50s, 60s, and 70s and 80s. And somebody made an off comment about how he drew his smoke, and he said, "Oh, I just stick my finger in the ink and drag it across." Right. And before reading that, I'd try to take a brush and a pen, because that's what they tell you you're supposed to do, and try to draw the smoke when I could have just and made it perfect. And so I really embraced that. And so from there, I started to use anything. I use oil pastels on my drawings a lot because it can make a thick kind of cloudy look. This was a goblin queen, which I was drawing, and you can see I added in all this sort of atmosphere around her face here.
And that's all finger, right?
And it's probably oil pastel. Some of it will be diluted Pro White, which is like a water-based white paint. But then there are pieces that'll throw you off. So like this. I showed you that there was the cover of my sketchbook.
Yep.
Look at how clean the original is.
Wow.
Right. It's because I wanted a clean, really sort of light, airy appearance for the girl. And so the art, whatever it starts out as, well, it's really going to dictate how it's going to finish. So you pick your mediums, pick your style based on what you want the final piece to be. And don't be bashful about using any and all of it. I mean, I really have used it all. I've used collage and crayons. I took a fashion doll one time, and I made a dress for it out of toilet paper, and I took a photo of it under dramatic light, and I shortened her neck to sort of look human, and just created a panel like that one time.
That's crazy. I mean, that's really awesome. I mean, it's crazy to me like that. You read that one article, and it changed almost the entire way that you create.
Well, here's the thing. I had a great piece of advice when I was in high school. I drew from my high school paper, and they printed the paper on site, and it wasn't digital then. They had this old equipment, so they were using a dark room with a camera. And I remember the person who was in charge of the production said, because I was doing cartoons for the paper, he said, I don't I really don't care what your original looks like. I care whether or not I can photograph it and print it. He said, you can, red crayon will photograph as black if we're going to print black and white. He said, so you can do it in red crayon if you want. It won't make any difference to me. You can cut parts of it out. You can, if I didn't like somebody's face, I could literally just cut out another piece of paper and paste it on, and it would photograph. And
right.
And it was that thing of, asking yourself, what is the product? And 9 times out of 10, as much as I like the Optimus Prime drawing I showed here earlier, this is not the product. The comic book is the product.
Right.
So you tailor everything to that. But
so you scanned that in, and then that's when you added the color and everything like that.
Yeah, on that piece. But there are other ones. This is a piece I drew. I'm giving many plugs for my Thursday show. You guys should really tune in. It's
and I have it linked down below, guys, in the description. So the link to his Facebook, give him a follow, is on there.
So here's one of the pieces I made. This was a Harley. She was done, of all things, this was on colored paper with chalk pastel and some white paint. And from time to time, if I do something that is really unique or different like that on my live feed, I'll make just a couple prints of it, and they're available for just the ones who tune in the next week. So it's kind of a nice reminder of what I did the week before. If you got to watch me make it, a lot of people say, that's really cool, I want a copy of it. So I make just a few.
You make, that's great to know. So I mean, that's really cool how you can.
And last week, this is what you missed. I made this one.
Oh my jeez.
Yep. So if you go and you watch my my live feed, I think the link for last week's show is still up. You can watch me make that Optimus Prime.
Oh man, that's crazy. See, now that is super detailed.
Well,
how long does that take to make like that?
Well, you can know to the second how long it takes. You just have to watch the video.
So you did it start to finish in the one sitting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was pretty fast. I think I got this one done. There's no way it was more than an hour and a half, but it might have been only an hour or so. I was flying. And I'll tell you, here's the thing. You see, I'm showing you that because it came out really well. I'm proud of it. Not everything does.
Right,
I've done some during the live feed where I've tried to experiment with some art supplies I wasn't very familiar with. And I tell everybody, I may crash and burn. It might turn out to a disaster.
Uh-huh.
I know I've had a lot of artists, professionals who in this industry have told me, said, I'm not going to do what you're doing online like that. He says, if something goes wrong or I screw up, it's unnerving. And I always kind of feel like if I tell everybody I'm going to experiment and maybe something will go wrong, I usually find people are just as interested by the failure as they are the success.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's funny to say it, but I'd love to see like how that, how does it fall apart, Oh
my gosh. I did a Wolverine in these paints called Casein that I've never used before. And they are like milk based. That was a bad one. That did not work out.
So there was like no correcting it. Like, are you
I didn't know. I didn't even know how to use it. I mean, I told everybody I've never used this paint before. I just found out it existed. I ordered it. It was like an unboxing show. I opened it up and I painted it out, and I had this decent little drawing. I said, okay, now let's add some color to it. And because you can cut it with water, I thought it might look kind of like water or acrylic, and I was very wrong.
So that one was just gone.
It was awful. And the funny thing about it was I had heard about these paints, but I didn't know anybody who was using them. I didn't know anybody who was using them in comics. And so of all things, I actually wrote Bill Sienkiewicz a message because I know that he's pretty fearless with using materials. And I said, hey, look, I'm thinking about getting these things. Have you used them? What do you say about them? And he said, oh, they're really great. He gave me, 100 words of how they're unique. And I said, okay, well, I should at least try them. And he did the most awful thing to me. He said, I'm really excited to see what you make with them. You got to show me. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. That's funny.
I did it live on my feed, and I hope that one just goes away. But, but it was still a good show. And the funny thing was, I had some other drawing events before that, and there were some people who tuned in, and they actually said, you know what, it's nice to know that you can screw this up. And I got to talk about what wasn't working well and how I was going to try to fix it. And some things worked and some didn't. And it's very possible for someone who wants to learn to draw, you could have learned more from my failure than my success.
True. That's a good point. I mean, I'm sure that's how a lot of it is. So Kaya B says, really awesome to have an artist on here, and thank you for giving back to the community.
I don't know anybody who's any good at this job who isn't also a fan. I mean, I said I grew up working in a comic shop. I remembered being really excited to get to meet Neil Adams and Steranko, and I waited my turn. And it's kind of amazing to know both of those people to some extent on a personal level now. And but it never goes away. I see Neil draw Batman's head, and it's just like, there it is.
It's crazy.
The living legend.
The living legend. And speaking of that, on Thursday, you have a special guest, right?
Right. So this Thursday on my live feed on the Facebook show, Zia Adams, who is Neil's daughter, is going to be on. And I really wanted to bring Zia on for a couple of reasons. One is that people keep asking me about my coloring, and she is a phenomenal colorist. She colors all kinds of Neil's work and does a lot of commercial work as well. She does a lot with markers, which I don't. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be really great because I'm kind of known as being a marker basher, which is unfair because I use them all the time. But she's someone who can really tell you how to use them and how to get great results out of them. And I'm kind of hoping that it's sort of a pros and cons back and forth. We're going to talk specifically about the work she's done. And I've never had a guest on there before. But the funny thing is, and I will say this during my live feed, but I'm going to say it again here. I met her when I was about 25, and she was set up. I wasn't a pro. I wasn't working in the industry, and Photoshop was really relatively new to me. And she had been working in it, and I just asked her some questions, and she took the time to answer my questions and even drew a couple little maps for how to find options on the program.
Oh, that's awesome.
It doesn't seem like a big deal, but she spent about half hour, 20 minutes with me, and at the time I learned so much from her that later when I was working in the industry and I had a chance to run into her, I see Gustavo says my feed is so dope, and he is correct. He is a regular there, and Gustavo knows Zia as well, so I know he's going to tune in. But the fact that she took that time and just helped me out, that meant a lot to me. And I also thought to myself, once I got to work in comics myself, that I had the opportunity to do that thing for the next generation.
That's cool.
Jack Kirby on one of the San Diego conventions said, comic book artists, I can't remember the exact quote, but he said something like, there's no actual class or something for this. He said, all comic book artists are the students of the people who came before them and the teachers of the people who come after them. I think that's kind of true.
That's really cool. I mean, that's really neat. It's so legacy and relationship driven. I think that's really so great about comic books.
It's pretty great. It's fun. So.
Yeah, and I just love too, like how I always talk about this. It hits every demographic. You can be from the age of 2 to 99, and you're in there. There's something for everybody, and I think it just does a great thing of bringing people together. I just love the diversity it has, and it's great. I mean, it's true. And the funny thing is, like, we're still sort of wrestling with this idea of what is a comic book. Like what are the boundaries? If a good friend of mine is a big comic book fan, a big reader. He knows probably more about comic books than I do. And, he'll talk at great length about comics I've never heard of, from countries I've never heard of, from publishers I've never heard of. And no one is wearing, capes and tights. Oh, that's cool.
And it's really that broad. It's kind of like saying, if there was a time, I think, where if you said, I like comics, it kind of means, well, I like superheroes. But I think we've finally gotten to the point where if you say I like comics, people think of it more like if you said, well, I like movies. It's like, well, that doesn't mean anything. What movies do you like?
Right. That's a good point. That's a really good point. So, we got a couple more questions, and then we'll start giving some stuff away. And of course, the
company thanks you.
Thank you,
for
Kaya
your
B.
contribution.
Kaya B says, "Is there anywhere we're going to be able to see you in the future?" Which I know that's kind of a little
in person.
Yeah, to get some signatures and things like that.
So yeah, if there's going to be a show that convention returns, typically I do the San Diego Comic-Con, try to do the New York show. I always do C2E2, Emerald City. Several others. Baltimore is one of my favorite shows. I adore that. And so there are many, but all of those are on hold right now. There is a show that's presently still planned for Grand Rapids that I think happens in the fall. Who knows if that's going to be able to happen. If it does, I'd like to be there because I really miss seeing everybody. I do know that Bell Book and Comic in Dayton, Ohio, and I are talking about these 2 other exclusives. If those happen, I will be there signing, and I should be able to announce those via my Facebook page as well.
Awesome.
And then lastly, tune into the Facebook thing. I do want to plug a couple things while we're at it, though, because the live feed is really great. And I figure I've given it enough time as well. But it looks like a lot of people here are interested in drawing comics and how comics are made. Go to my Facebook page, and there's a link near the top for an event called Comic Book in a Day that I think I mentioned earlier that Nickel Plate Arts in Indiana is running. Now, it's going to be a virtual event where people can sign up and try to make a comic book in one day. Basically, what you do is in 8 hours, you write your own story, draw it, letter it, everything, and you can do about 4 pages or so in that time. It's a challenge, though. Myself and a couple other artists are going to be there as featured artists to help sort of cheer you on and give you advice. And if you're having trouble drawing something or have a difficult composition, we can help you with that. I am going to be giving a presentation on how to draw expressive hands and faces, and the other artists are going to be giving presentations as well. It's a $25 entry fee, but you're going to get some art supplies, and you will also get a physical copy of the book. So everybody who makes pages for this is a challenge artist. The pages are all scanned, gathered together. Actual comic books are printed, and you will get a copy.
Oh, that's so cool.
And this is year 7. I've done it every year but one. I couldn't do it 1 year because I had to be at the New York Comic Con.
Gotcha. That's awesome, though. I mean, because I've actually linked it here to the nickelplatearts.org. That's the website.
That is the website. You got it exactly right.
Yeah. So I got moderators. You guys keep linking that. Please check that out and support it. And then, we got to ask. Everybody was asking, how did you do the Joker? What was I figured I'd save the best for kind of the last question.
The Jokers.
Everybody loves the Jokers. They're like,
I wish I had known that was such a hot thing, because I feel like I've been drawing it my whole life. People always ask me who's my favorite to draw. So I grew up a Batman fan, but I really got to tell you, the Joker, for whatever the boundaries are, is Batman anything from Adam West to Bruce Timm to Neil Adams, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like the boundaries of the Joker are even larger. Cesar Romero was still the Joker. Arkham Asylum, where his mouth can be gaping like venom, is still the Joker. He is the character in the DC universe that I feel is one of the most plastic. You can really, really stretch and pull him. And then he's one of these characters where I kind of have a little thing I say in the back of my head all the time when I draw anybody is, this is a good rule of thumb for anybody who's trying to come up with some unique creative work. I always say, don't draw what it looks like, draw what it feels like. And I don't mean tactile. What does it feel like to be the Joker? Okay, so he's crazy. So what does crazy look like in a visual sense? Mm-hmm. If you're dealing with somebody who's crazy, you're not bound by a literal representation anymore. And I think that's pretty great. So that's why Joker can have that big, long jaw. It's not really that long, but if you're kind of screwy up here, it can feel that way. Awesome. I always tell people, you see those comics where the lightning crashes and Batman's cape is 30 feet long. It's probably not 30 feet long. Right. But if you were a criminal and you were running from him and you're terrified and the lightning goes off and you just see a glimpse of him, in your mind, it looks bigger than it really is. So draw what it feels like. Draw the terror of running from Batman. And if you're drawing the Joker, you draw the insanity. Right. And that's why I think his hair is always so great, because I always feel like his hair can bounce and move around and really sort of show his attitude. You got a lot of things you can play with on him.
Man, that's so well put, though. I love how you describe that visualization and how,
well, there he is.
Reality. There he is right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That perception is reality. That's awesome. That's a really cool way to look at it too, and you're right. I mean, I'm sure that the publishers are a lot more flexible on certain characters as well, interpretation wise.
And some they aren't. I used to joke that my nightmare project was drawing Iron Man, and it was only because it was so rigid and technical. Yeah. And I kind of felt like, I really want to connect with the characters, and I felt that the easiest way to do that is to be able to see their face, and Iron Man's is covered.
Yeah, that's a good point.
In fact, I had a friend who was an art collector for a long time, and he made this rule: he would not collect art of any characters whose faces were covered. And I said, well, they're all covered. I mean, Batman's face is covered. And he says, yes, but he can emote through it. You know, his eyes get bigger and raises his eyebrows. So he has no Iron Man and no Spider-Man.
That's awesome. That's crazy too.
It's kind of crazy, but I got it. It's because he wants to care about the characters and the individual. So the funny thing about that, though, is for those who don't know, for a couple of years early in my career, I actually drew the Lego Bionicle comic.
I did. I saw that. Oh,
so if you were just the right age and had a subscription to the Lego Fan Club magazine, you would have gotten all these from me. These came out around 2005, 2006. And the difference between drawing Iron Man and drawing Bionicles is actually kind of small. They're both robotic. We have the same emotion problem. And so I started thinking, what can I do to this to connect with it better? And for me, I always want to draw things that are living. I want to have that characterization, that life. And so I said, how much can I bend and pull them to put more life in them than they might otherwise have? So it's one of the things that got me the job. I told Lego I wanted their backs to be able to bend like people's backs so they can hunch over. You know, I think the toy doesn't exactly do that, but if I had their bodies bend and move more like ours, then they could emote better. I also said, let's make it to where they can get rusty. Let's make it so they can get dirty. Let's make it to where if they're injured, you know, something can actually come off like a flesh wound or something like that. And I just kind of felt like the more I can do to put them in a tangible real world where they can be affected by things, the more life they've got. And I think if I ever worked on Iron Man, I'd do the same thing.
That's
absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, see that's really cool. I mean, hopefully they'd be open to that idea as well. But
well, it's funny because I thought like I was the only person who felt this way, and then obviously someone else figured it out. Because if you ever watch the Avengers movie, they always show Tony Stark's face. They don't show Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
They want you to be able to they want you to be able to connect with Robert Downey Jr. And so I knew I was right when I saw that.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, though. That is true. That's and that really made the film. I mean,
it was necessary.
It was. That's good. Well, man, we I just thank you so much for taking the time, you know, to answer these questions, to come on. I mean, absolutely awesome.
Thanks so much. I'm delighted to come along, and you know, if I can get these next two projects done, they both look pretty good. If you want me back, you let me know.
Oh, of course. No, I mean, you are more than welcome anytime. And guys, I'm going to link his website again, stuartsayger.com. There's some way too cheap stuff on there.
Well, and if you haven't been, so I announced sort of a deal during the pandemic because we can't see each other at conventions. And I know a lot of people have even told me that they don't have conventions near them. I have a deal on my website that if you order $99 worth of material prior to shipping, I'll include a free remark on one of your items. So if you bought if you bought a set of Joker comics plus a G.I. Joe, you get a free Joker sketch right on top of it.
Oh man, that's awesome. And we're gonna give a couple of those away tonight. It pains me, but I'm gonna have to get some more of them.
Well, if you need more, I know where to get them. How's that?
Yeah, that's right. So guys, we man,
I want to see it. I want to see how this goes. I want to see.
Oh yeah, you want to see how this is where the madness starts. So you guys know the drill. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with us, man. It's been absolutely awesome. A lot of eye-opening stuff. It's really cool to kind of get a look behind the curtain. And if you, I'm happy to show it all off. There's more coming all the time. So man, that's great. So I'm gonna pull a couple little changes here to my layout because we got to get these wheels put up and start giving some stuff away. And guys, you know the drill. Make sure you're here to claim. And yeah, so let me pull the chat up on that side. We're gonna make another wheel here. By the way, Michael, this is where it turns into Thunderdome if someone doesn't claim immediately. I love that comment. That is fantastic. Break the deal, spin the wheel. The favorite thing is dusted. You're dusted. That's it. So I'm going to go through here real quick and take the duplicate names off because that does happen. Yeah, can't have that, huh? No, can't have that. We gotta take a couple of the dupes off of there. But I want to know what a Clark Kent cookie is too. I keep seeing that. I asked that question. I saw that. I was like, what is a Clark Kent cookie? Like, is that a real cookie or is that just a, it's like, are they making Superman cookies? While you set that up, I have to tell you a dumb Clark Kent story if I can. Go for it. Yeah. So there was this guy who used to perform around the Midwest
who performed under the name Man Super. Okay, he was a musician. And from what I understand, he used to wear just a Superman t-shirt and jeans, and he really presented himself as Man Super. And I think DC didn't like that and gave him a cease and desist, and he just said, you can't stop. I mean, that's not your name. Anybody can call yourselves that. And the reason he did this is this gentleman's real name was Kent Clark, which I loved him so much for doing this.
Oh, man. Yeah, they couldn't have had that work because he could go to the judge.
Fantastic.
They'd be like, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, you can't take that from him. That's funny, though.
I mean, if I said to you, hey, what's Man Super's secret identity? You'd have to say Kent Clark. So
yeah, he'd have to. I'm sure he's been asked to do, and he's got to love it. He's got to love it. All right, so we got the dupes off of here. We're going to shuffle these up. So we go into a little bit of a different mode here. I'll kind of show you how this works. So we got some prizes here, and let me go like this. So first up, you guys know the drill. We got to give away. Are you familiar with Loot Crate?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, you know who?
Oh, yeah.
So you know how kind of like through some bankruptcy, insolvency kind of things, they kind of restructured.
I mean, I didn't know about any of that necessarily, but I remember I've certainly opened a Loot Crate, you know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Nice. What's a Loot Crate without a shirt?
What's a Loot Crate without a shirt? Well, it's a bunch of stuff that I picked up from them from their bankruptcy that I'm giving away. So these
are you kidding me?
Crates. Oh yeah, man, I've got so much of it. It's out of hand.
Wait, so what is this called?
So I put these little boxes together of just all kinds of random stuff. So they're just in little like.
But what did you call it?
Wink crates. You know.
Wink crates. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, wink crate. I'm gonna get my cease and desist. No, we got a bunch of. I picked up a lot of this stuff, and of course, you guys are gonna get your stickers. If my camera decides to go back into focus here. Wow, that thing went way wonky. But you're gonna get your stickers. Mylar out of your mind.
Thank
you, old man.
For your
Collectibles.
contribution.
Yes, you sure did, guys. I got everybody on the wheel. I kind of kept an eye on it. So you're gonna get your boardroom certified stickers, all that good stuff, plus a whole lot of other Loot Crate type items. So we're gonna go to the wheel now. So we got two of these, left side and right side. So let's go to the review. And these are the two wheels we kind of pop up here. So everybody can kind of see who wins. So left side and right side are the same thing, two Loot Crate items. You guys know the drill. We're going to spin them. So I've got 6 giveaways tonight. So 2 and 2, 2 and 2. And then, of course, the grand prize being your remarks, and we'll show those off. So in 3, 2, 1, we're going to spin and see what we are. Man, I can't just, again, thank you so much for being on here.
Look at this.
Yeah. So let's see. We have 6 and 6 collectibles. Congratulations. In here putting in the work. I got you, Amanda. So now we wait for them to claim and we wait for the dusted. They say congratulations for about 7 seconds, and then it goes to dusted, respin. Because if they don't claim, we respin them again.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I think that's the way we like to do it. I know 6 and 6 claimed. She claimed, and then Mark Knapp 68. Did he claim? I did not see. There's all the congrats blowing up the chat, and everybody said claim. There he is, claimed. Mark Knapp. Gotcha. You guys hit me up on Instagram, or you can email me, winkink, W1NK, INC, at outlook.com. So I got both of those. That's usually, man, that's great. No respin on the first round. So we'll keep everybody on the wheel, too, for the grand prize. We need everybody to have a chance to win the grand prize. So second up, this is good right here. We're going quick. I like it. So second up here, we're going to give away a Funko Pop. So that's kind of the other part of my channel is a lot of people love the Funko Pops. And
well, sure.
Yeah, they love
absolutely. By the way, you're better with the wheel than Pat Sajak. I can tell you that.
I appreciate that.
This is good.
Get a little Vanna White, too, you know. What do you do? So we're going to give away this Funko Pop. We got Conor McGregor plus a whole lot of other items in here, guys. We got pins and stickers and all that good stuff as well. And, of course, you're going to get your 3 stickers from me. And then we are also going to do another one of these bubble wrap mailers. So I do 2 things in here. So, of course, you're going to get your stickers as well. And let me see if I can get this out of here. Let me see. Oh, this is a good one right here. I have no idea who that autograph is, though. But
hold it up.
Yeah, I can't tell who it is, but maybe you guys can.
I'm not bad at this. Let's see. Oh my gosh. That is
somebody in the chat's going to know. I don't know why I don't know that. I'm familiar with it, but it is COA'd. But the COA doesn't tell me. We'd actually have to look it up. So 69 Chop Shop says, Wink, I love you, but you're no Vanna White. That's rough.
Tough, man.
Tough crowd tonight. Now, Raglan. They say Ragman. Yeah, it's a Ragman. Okay, who is the sign from Arrow? Oh my gosh, shame on us, huh? Ragman from Arrow.
I should know.
Have you drawn Arrow?
I've drawn Ragman. I did Ragman for DC Versus card. I really did.
You did.
See, and it's funny. He's Arrow. Wow, he's only Green Arrow to me, but yeah, he's Arrow. Of course. Arrow. Are you kidding? Absolutely, I have. But it's funny. As soon as you said that, I thought, wait a minute, I've even drawn Ragman.
He's even drawn Ragman. So there you go. So left side of the wheel, Conor McGregor. Right side of the wheel, Ragman. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's get the spins going. That's great. This is drawn Ragman. Here we go. So our next winner is Coco Loves Chevy. Congratulations, man. Another great comic book guy. Coco Loves Chevy got you. And congratulations, Convex Mike. He's a new name. I've seen him in here before. So I know Coco Loves Chevy is in here. Let's see if Convex Mike is in here. We'll have to respin. Because he is a newer name, I think. Could be wrong. Here come the congratulations. And we'll see if we get some claims here. Cool. Yep, there he is. Coco Loves Chevy. Got you, man. You are claimed. And let's see if we got Convex Mike. Thank you guys, all the moderators as well, for linking Stuart's website. Go over there and show him some support. Get yourself some way too cheap signed Signature Series slabs.
Way too cheap.
Way too cheap. I'm telling you. Oh, my gosh. Congratulations. Both claimed. I didn't see Convex Mike. Did I miss it? Let me see here. I may have missed it. Oh, yep. Got you, Convex Mike. That's my bad. See, they're keeping me on point. So here we go. This is the one that everybody's been waiting for. And I've added a little something to it, too, just because this is a momentous occasion, man. I got to tell you, I mean, I'm a fan big time. I mean, your remarks were kind of the first I'd ever seen. So
that's me flexing my muscle.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, you need to, man, absolutely killer remarks on these things and really good stuff. So we have got 2 of these, and these are my little comic book things I put together. You know, I like to give away signed books, and these are a little extra special, Joker related, the one that everybody was talking about.
Yep.
So we got 2 of these, one for the left side, one for the right side, and I put a little bonus in there as well. So, you know, I have added a few books to these, but you got the Joker 80th anniversary, Jim Lee, pretty good, not too bad. You've got, and I got another Year of the Villain here. Why don't I not know who drew this one? I don't know who drew that one. Who did you? Can you tell right off the rip?
I don't know. Might be Simone Bianchi. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like Medusa. That's not bad. But then you get to this is the one you're talking about right there. Signed.
There we go.
Remark. Yeah, absolutely nasty right there. I mean, I love hearing it too now, how you draw it with the lightning and kind of the story.
Oh, yeah.
You do but there's the sketch remark right there on that one. There's your signature. And of course, it comes directly from the Stuart Sayger website right there with the DOA. Absolutely cool. So that is the first one, but let's check out the second one. So we got a second one here that we're going to give out. And of course, you know, you got your Winking stickers, but both of these are also going to come with a $50 Visa gift card thrown in there as well.
Hey, all righty.
Pick up a slab from StuartSayger.com. I'm telling you, $50 Visa gift card will be in both of those as well. Very cool. So let me show you this other one real quick, and then we will give these bad boys away.
Yeah, I want to see it myself. I've drawn a couple of these. I want to see which one you got.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like this, the second one. I love this from the side. So you've got the Joker 80th anniversary. This is by David Finch. And yeah, got that one in there. Had to keep them kind of Joker themed here. This is Mike Mayhew's year.
That one's fantastic.
It's pretty cool.
You know, he posted that, and I made a point to I met him at several shows, and I truly, that cover was so good. I said, "You're crushing it, man. You're making my life hard."
No, I don't know. This is just sick right here from the side remark with the ha ha ha. I love that. That is absolutely incredible. So there you go. So another You're the Villain Joker by Stuart Sayger, our guest. And there is your COA from his website, stuartsayger.com. And you are also going to get a $50 Visa gift card in there as well. So this is one you guys are going to want to claim. So we're going to go, this second one will be on the right side of the wheel, or of the wheels, I should say. And the other one will be on the left. So here we go, guys. Last giveaways. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and especially to you, Stuart. Thank you so much, man, for coming on once again.
No problem at all. We didn't even talk. We didn't even talk about Kiss. Did you notice that?
I know. Look at this. Another Kiss the End.
Yeah. So I've been the cover artist for Kiss, the rock and roll band, for their comics, and I've done some exclusives. I've done over 20 Kiss covers.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't even touch Kiss. We didn't even get there.
You barely touched Rom, barely touched G.I. Joe. I mean, you got a sick Baroness covers on there, those G.I. Joes you have.
It's an exclusive, and it's the origin issue too.
That's nasty. So here we go. We're going to spin the wheel, guys. Left side, right side. Congratulations to our winners here. Look at this. Everybody's on the Kiss run now. That's funny. So here we go.
Yeah, you can get a Remark Kiss.
Kenneth Bird and Jellyfingers. Jellyfingers, man. Thank you so much, man. Jellyfingers, you're a great guy in the community. That's some of that comic karma everybody talks about. We had a little tragedy kind of in our YouTube community here, and he donated a very, very incredible book. And look at this. It comes back around to you. So.
Holy cow. Look, how are you keeping up with the claims on this? This is incredible.
I see Kenneth Bird there. I didn't see Jellyfingers, though. I hope he's here. He says, spin it again, man. The guy is too good. Jellyfingers, you're too good of a guy. Oh, my gosh. So we're going to spin Jellyfingers his side once again, man. He's a top-notch guy. He wants to throw.
And for those who don't know, that means he gave away $50.
Yeah, well, a lot more than that.
Well,
I don't even know what price you put on your. Geez, you can get 3 of them, but that's nasty. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna respin the right side. Thank you, Jellyfinger. Seriously, man, that's absolutely tremendous of you. Absolutely cool. So here we go. Back into the community it goes, and it goes to Mike Polo. Mike Polo, congratulations, man. Let's see if I think he's in here. Mike's usually in here all the time. Very, very cool.
Yeah, very cool, Jellyfingers.
Yeah, he's picking up something from your website, he said, anyway. He probably just bought them.
Well, thanks, you guys. I really mean that.
No, seriously. Yeah, these guys they come to support. I tell you, I was actually reaching out to people in the community. I was like, hey, who should I try to hit up? Your name was overwhelmingly the vote, it seemed like. So,
well, thanks. Like I said, I like this stuff, and it really is all about community. This hobby has always been that. If everybody has a regular comic shop. The comic shop, they know your name and you know theirs. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into a shop or seen somebody walk in, and the owner there says, "You want to buy whatever New Warriors this week?" I never buy New Warriors. Yeah, but it's got Moon Knight in it, and I know you love Moon Knight. Everybody knows each other.
That's awesome. I got you, Mike.
Really cool.
So man, so anything that we need to know about Stuart Sayger coming up, we've got, check out the Facebook, 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays, correct?
Yeah, it's 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. So just go to my Facebook page, add me as a friend. So I've got my business or my public page and my private page, but go to my private page. You can go to either one. I post things on both. But it's the private page, which allows you to interact a little bit differently. But it's a good show, and we usually run, I'm not joking, about 2.5 hours.
Really? Okay. So that's great. I mean, man, that's
a
good time too. I found you run a little too long, it can get, but that's great. That's perfect.
Well, it does. I always start off with, so when I show like commissions I've done over the week, I often give a little bit of a history of comics lesson, if you can believe that. In this case, we're going to have Zia come on. We're going to talk about the production of comics instead. But there's always some programming outside of just what I do. But there's always live drawing. We always finish with that.
And so that's the first time. So you're going to actually have that's Neil Adams' daughter too on there. That's going to be awesome.
And she's a wonderful colorist. And have your questions ready if you want to know things about working in markers or digital. Do that.
Wow, man.
I can tell you how working in paint and all and drawing the stuff by hand. I can tell you how I make Optimus Prime, or you can watch the video yourself and see how it's done. But we do a lot.
You're gonna know. Okay, so that's
really I don't have any big spinning wheels, and I'm telling you, I don't have the prizes you've got. You've got me outgunned.
No, man, I'm telling you, you're the draw though. That's the important part. You're the draw.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been teasing it a few times. I really think I've got 2 good exclusive projects that are coming out here in a couple months. And if you want to talk about those, they're going to be cool.
Let
me know, Alex.
I would love to have you back on. I mean, that's
sure.
so great to be on there. And then, guys, I'm going to close on just a quick note here. Please visit the website, stuartsayger.com. We also have another one in our community that definitely has a little bit of need. Premature Baby, Stevie B Comics. You guys know who he is. His son just had a very early baby. Thankfully, it's gone well. But I'm going to go ahead and post their GoFundMe, guys. If you want to throw some support his way, that would be great. You know, we've all kind of risen to the occasion. So give him a little bit of support and his family. And again, Stuart, thank you again for everything. And
I'm delighted to be here. You've got a great thing going on, and your community looks really awesome. So thanks for binding us all together.
Oh, absolutely. Well, guys, you know, that's it for everything. So, you know how I always like to close it. So that is it for this one, and we will see you all on the next one.